WWE's Crown Jewel is live this Saturday from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Here are my predictions. We have Jade, Cargill, and Bianca Belair, the women's tag champions, going up against Kairi, Sane, and Io Sky, Metaphors, Lash, Legend, and Jakara Jackson, and Chelsea Green and Piper Niven in a fatal four-way for the women's tag championships. This match is very interesting considering how dominant the women's division is getting on both the main roster and on NXT. The biggest thing I'm looking forward to is if WWE decides to do something crazy, like have Bianca and Jade drop the titles, because every time they tend to drop the titles, they are in a situation where they have to focus on more than one team. Now, with how dominant the women's division is becoming in NXT, I feel that the tag titles would be better represented on NXT. With that being said, Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend are the perfect opportunists right here in this match to dominate, make themselves look main roster ready, but also pick up the tag titles, take them back to NXT, where we have multiple opportunities for Fatal Influence, obviously Julia and Stephanie Vaquer, and many other women's duos that we could see get into tag team feuds. They could also move their way back up to the main roster and be a prominent force defending the tag titles against Jade and Bianca and other factions that are on both Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. But as much as that storyline and that booking would be phenomenal, I don't see Jade and Bianca dropping the titles at Crown Jewel. Now, the only other thing here is that what title does change hands at Crown Jewel? The Saudis will not be happy if they don't see something spectacular, and they are always about seeing a title change hands. We've seen it multiple times during our time going over to Saudi Arabia. So if any title is actually changing hands, it's going to be the Women's Tag Championship, and I do believe it will go to Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend of Metaphor, but I'm saying, and still tag team champions Jade, Cargill, and Bianca Belair. LA Knight, Andrade, and Carmelo Hayes in a triple threat match for the WWE United States Championship. LA Knight interfered as the special guest referee in Game 7 between Andrade and Carmelo, which I thought was a mistake because these two have had an incredible feud over the last several months, and I believe that we need to see a definite winner. LA Knight interjecting himself has cost him a potential of losing his United States Championship against two of the biggest and brightest stars on SmackDown when it comes to up-and-coming talent. Yes, I know Andrade's been there before, but he is revolutionized himself into a new character, and his abilities in the ring are second to none. So, with this being said, I still don't see Andrade or Melo walking out as US champion. LA Knight has been on a roll over the past year and deserves a longer title run. I think LA Knight with the W, yeah, but it's going to come with a weird situation where he's going to either let Andrade and Carmelo take it home and then he's just going to dive in with a BFT, or it's going to be a very interesting finish, kind of like Trick Williams versus Ethan Page, when Ethan Page won the title and just fell on top of someone and he gets a sloppy 1-2-3 messy victory. But I think this feud leads into Survivor Series. Guys, let me know in the comments what you think about that, because I think there's more to this story than just these three. But LA Knight with the W. Seth Freakin Rollins versus Big Bronson Reed. This match is Bronson Reed's coming out party. He's going up against the best and biggest star on Monday Night Raw in Seth Freakin Rollins. I like this new character kind of that Seth's bringing to the table. It's more aggressive. It's very architect. It's very Messiah with a little bit of Seth Freakin Rollins added into it. I don't know what we're going to be calling this yet, but Seth Rollins is in a new mindset since returning from injury. Big Bronson Reed is going to be a staple in WWE in the coming years, and WWE is proving that with the position they're putting Bronson Reed in right now. With the dominance over Braun Strowman and now setting up a feud with their number one guy on Monday Night Raw in Seth Rollins, this is going to be a big test for Bronson Reed. And personally, I think Bronson Reed might come out of this looking like a shiny new toy for Triple H going into the Intercontinental feud, or potentially when Netflix changes, Bronson Reed could end up over on SmackDown going into the US title picture. Personally though, I don't see Seth freaking Rollins losing in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is like a glorified house show for this. There's no real story picture that they try and really build. They just try and put on a really good show to make everyone smile and enjoy themselves, and then they come back and we go back into the storytelling picture fully on Monday Night Raw and going into Survivor Series in Vancouver. I personally think Seth Rollins does not lose this match. Seth Rollins with the W over Bronson Reed, but this feud is far from over. Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. We saw Randy Orton cut a very passionate promo on the most recent episode of SmackDown, even to the point where he called out Triple H for protecting Kevin Owens from Randy Orton. Triple H turned it around and said, no, I am protecting you from Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and this is a match that you do not want. I find this very intriguing that Randy Orton and Kevin Owens in different generations are both Triple H guys. Obviously, Evolution, Triple H and Randy Orton had their time, and Triple H was kind of a mentor to Randy. And then Kevin Owens coming up through the NXT product, through when Triple H and Shawn Michaels were running it together. This is interesting because Triple H is actually a big part of this storyline. How do we see this finishing? I personally think this ends in a disqualification. One of them goes too far. I don't think you can solidify a winner when this feud is still so new. It's very interesting to me that people are not as behind this feud as I am. This is going to be one of those kind of generational feuds where it could be Rock Austin all over again. Yes, that is a big shout because Rock Austin was a massive era. It was the two marquee guys on the card, but the feud itself, if you break away where they were on the card and you look at just the overall feud of both guys wanting to be the best, Randy and Kevin Owens are in the similar picture. Randy recently returning from injury, and Kevin Owens has been on that tilt of, do I resign or don't I resign with WWE? This is the story I feel that they're building. So really, I'm going to say there is a disqualification in this match. I don't think, or a no contest. I think this match gets too much and Triple H has the referee call it, or Triple H actually gets involved in a way saying having to need to separate them. Maybe the bell doesn't even ring, but this is going to be a long-standing feud going into Survivor Series, potentially into the Royal Rumble, potentially into WrestleMania. These guys are going to victimize each other going through this entire feud. As of the recording of this video, this match has not fully been announced, but due to spoilers and alerts, we have Roman Reigns and the Usos, the OTC Bloodline versus Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa, the Timu Bloodline, going up against each other in a 6-man tag match. I do believe Jacob Fatu will not be involved in this PLE, but don't forget, Jacob Fatu is always close and listening, but for this match, Jacob Fatu will not be involved. So we have the OTC Bloodline versus the Timu Bloodline, and this match has not fully been announced yet, but again, with SmackDown being pre-taped, we do have this match happening on the card. I'm really looking forward to this. Again, I don't see the Timu Bloodline, Solo Sikoa, and the Tongans beating Jimmy and Roman as of yet. It's way too new. I do think this was a rushed match. I don't think this should be on this card. I think we need to build further, but I also believe that this match is to help debut a new member of the Timu Bloodline, in potentially Hikuleo or Lance Anawahi. So I personally think there is more to this story on why this match is happening at Saudi Arabia to help build into the War Games match that we are going to get at Survivor Series in Vancouver. So personally, I think, actually, you know what? I'm going to change my pick. I'm going to say the Timu Bloodline wins, and it is due to interference. We know the Bloodline likes to show new members when it comes to the international events. So I'm going to go with the Timu Bloodline. I'm going to say Solo pins Jimmy. on this one. So that's what we're going with that prediction. Guys, let me know in the comments. I know I'm way off on that one, but you know, to each their own. Liv Morgan, Raw's WWE Women's World Champion versus Nia Jax's SmackDown WWE Women's Champion for the Crown Jewel Championship. First off, did anybody notice that they're carrying these titles around in rifle boxes? Just saying. Those boxes were made to carry around rifles. It's just weird that they decided to do that and nobody was going to pick it up. Anyways, moving forward. This Crown Jewel Championship, I actually think these titles are so ugly. They are actually kind of nice, but they really have no distinctive meaning except for this is what Saudi Arabia wants. They want to make it big. They want to make it glorious. They want to make it very Saudi Arabia about money and jewels and flashiness. So it is what it is. This is what we're getting. And the best part about this, it does not affect any storyline. This is the title that I think is going to change hands at Crown Jewel. It is Nia Jax's Women's WWE Championship. And I think Tiffany Stratton cashes in after Nia Jax loses to Liv Morgan with the help of Dirty Dominic Mysterio. There is so much that we can do to build this, and this is the best way to do it. So I am going with Nia Jax losing to Liv Morgan and then losing her championship to Tiffany Stratton as for a cash-in of the women's Money in the Bank. Perfect timing, right into Survivor Series. Survivor Series is about blood feuds. And then we go to Nia Jax versus Tiffany Stratton for the women's championship at Survivor Series. Book it, take it, moving on. Gunther, the World Heavyweight Championship, going up against Cody Rhodes and the Cody Crybabies and the WWE Champion for the Crown Jewel Championship. This match, again, it is one of those matches that we don't need to worry about because the outcome of this match does not matter. The outcome of this match does not affect storylines. This is just whose balls are bigger and who is going to come out on top with a very big title. This match is built for Gunther. This title is built for Gunther. He's already this year's King of the Ring. Cody does not need this, but neither does Gunther. But if I'm going to put anyone over in this match, I am going to say Gunther deserves this title just to add to his resume as a gloating, perfect heel. That Gunther holding that title for 5 minutes and then putting it in his cabinet and walking away with it, I think it's great. But two problems. Gunther has two feuds that could lead into Survivor Series and Royal Rumble. Oldberg and Brock Lesnar. Cody's already faced Brock Lesnar and gotten the rub from Brock Lesnar. Rumor is potentially Brock Lesnar could be returning. Brock Lesnar and the Saudis love Brock Lesnar. Why not have him return and screw Gunther and Brock Lesnar versus Gunther at Survivor Series of the Royal Rumble? Or we just had it on Monday Night Raw a few weeks ago where Gunther called out Goldberg. Goldberg could return and screw Gunther, and Cody Rhodes wins the title. So you know what? As much as I want Gunther to win this match, it's going to be Cody Rhodes because somebody screws over Gunther. It makes Gunther still look strong, makes Cody look strong, it makes everyone look strong, and we lead into a feud that we don't want. No, I'm just joking. It leads into a feud that we are going to have in the coming months, whether it be the Royal Rumble or Survivor Series with Gunther. And then we can lead into something with potentially Seth Rollins or Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Champion, or Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship moving into 2025. Guys, those are my predictions. Let me know what you think in the comments. I will be live on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/MrTeshk at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time for Crown Jewel, which starts at 1 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and put the bell on for all notifications. I will see you at Crown Jewel, and like always, be good people.